Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, got it represent.
What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And what a year it has been. Tea. You know I love tea. But in all seriousness, from the multiple vehicles of Badussi to the multiple times that the body shop just made up excuses because they destroyed my car, or the multiple times that my car came up for auction this year, to know how this year in 2021 started and to know where we're at, where we're finishing, it's kind of good and it's kind of bad. Like, I'm very thankful and happy for the success of the channel this year. I think when we came into this year, at the start of this year, we were somewhere around 21,000, something like that. And to be at 56,000, basically, we're knocking on the door at 56,000 right now. At the end of this year, that's a lot of growth. That's over 100% growth in a year. And while that's normal when you're a smaller channel, when you're at like 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs, I don't know what it was. It was a testament to you guys, man. How quick we went from 1,000 to 5,000, how quick we went from 5,000 to 10,000. Doesn't look like we started to hit a little bit of a wall. Then the pandemic hit. And then, watch time and views were insane, but the subscriber number never really went crazy. And then, we rolled into 2021 and it was just like, boom, it just blew up, man. And I can't think of any months where we didn't have a couple thousand subscribers. I mean, that's awesome for a channel of this size. And to be where we're at, it's not just that. I mean, and this is no shots or shade at any other channels, but there are some other automotive channels or people that are in the motivational or automotive space that have, 600, 700, 900,000 subscribers that don't get 10,000 views a video. And little old me, sitting here at 50-something thousand, we regularly hit over 10% of our subscriber base into the views. And that's really where you want to be at, man. It's all about that watch time. And, you consistently want at least, 10% is the bottom. You want at least 10% of your people coming back on your videos. And if you do that, you're bound to be successful. This is why, we're ending 2021 and we're starting 2022. And see, for me, I didn't need YouTube to be successful. I already have my own things, man. I had business and I day trade. I didn't need the money from YouTube. But I'm going to be honest with you. Not having to focus as much on trading or, studying a chart all day the next day to be able to bust a hard number the next day on whatever stock or crypto I was trading, and to be able to sit back a little bit more and still trade, but not have to be so serious about it. That's because of the YouTube. That's the YouTube revenue. It has allowed me to do more. I traveled more this year than I have in any other year on the channel. We went city to city, state to state. We went to tracks. We went to meetups. We went to car shows. We went to special clubs. I think I had a beer in almost every state in the lower 48 outside of, I didn't hit Oregon, Washington, or the Dakotas. Oregon, Washington, or the Dakotas this year. But No, and I drove through Connecticut as fast as I could. I didn't stop there either. Sorry, Connecticut. Me growing up in Boston, people say, oh, it's Rhode Island. Everybody says Rhode Island's the armpit of New England. And no, not for us from Boston. It's Connecticut. It's Connecticut. They can take that waspy, snotty shit elsewhere. No, that's not everybody from Connecticut, but I digress. This year has been absolutely nuts. I did a lot more experimenting. You guys know I went from carrying the big giant camera rig. I had that big ass DJI gimbal with the Sony a7 III on it, running that thing all around to where I was able to consolidate down to, I'm shooting on it. I was able to consolidate down to basically just a cell phone, the mics, and I got this new elbow connector, for the iPhones and plug into my wireless mics, and then we kept it moving. And I think you guys have enjoyed the content. I know a lot of it, and a lot of people will say it's, people tuned in, TK, because of the drama or the beefs and all the other stuff this year. And look, if anybody has learned anything about me this year, whether you found out about me from the drama and the beefs earlier in the year, or you found out about my channel from actually buying cars and doing work, I am a real loyal person. I almost said mother effer. I was about to get on my Sam Jackson, but I reined it in. All right, I reined it in. I'm an extremely loyal person. I think you guys have seen that in, beefs and people, where people say, well, TK picks sides. Well, of course, because, I've known this person longer than I've known this other person. And I know that this person's a solid individual. And I'm not getting into names and situations, but you know what I'm talking about. And I think people saw that about me, that, if I'm in your corner or I'm pushing you as a creator, and some people weren't even doing YouTube yet. If I'm pushing you as a creator or I'm pushing you as a person, it's because I believed in you and I had faith that I knew you were going to be huge or you were going to do something amazing. And fuck what the haters said, because people did that for me when I was younger. They pushed me, they didn't want me to fall back in anything that I did. And being able to be in different people's corners, I'm not saying fight people's battles, because I didn't do that. I just stood my ground. I had an opinion. I said what I said, and I stood my ground. And I think a lot of people learned some expensive lessons this year. I learned some expensive lessons myself. I lost a car that I really loved. It's the Green Monster for me is probably maybe top 2 now. Not even top 3, maybe top 2 cars that I've had an emotional attachment to of all time. And I would like to give it that number 1 spot, but I don't think anything is ever gonna take that E39 M5 spot. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen. I just don't think it is. But the Green Monster was a very close second. And I mean, it's very, very close to the E39 M5. And it hurt to lose that car, and for us to lose this car multiple weeks in a row, and not knowing what's going to happen now that I've stepped away from it, and just new year, new things, leave the past in the past and just move forward. I'm being that way about a lot of things. Some of you guys saw channels that I didn't get along with, or we had very severe disagreements to where we were taking shots at each other, not do that and feature each other on each other's channels. Just, 2021 was a crazy year. I will say that. And there was a lot of tragedy in this year. I have friends that died from this virus. I've had friends that died in accidents. I had people that died at the track. It's why I think I live the way I live and do what I do, because, being somebody who has fought cancer 3 times, you never know when it's when it's time for you to pay the piper, so to speak, or punch that ticket, so to speak. And I just learned, when people get on to me and they say, you waste so much money because you go from this city to this city to this state to this state. What am I going to do with the money? Am I going to take it with me? I'm not. And as long as my wife is supportive of whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm going to continue to do it. And the reason behind that is, this life, this vessel, these bodies, this time that we have here on this planet is all about having experiences. Do I want to be laid up in a bed? I'm 40 something now, but I feel like my body's going to be 70 in 5 years. But do I want to lay up in a bed 5 years or 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if I'm still here, and be like, damn, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have went to the Grand Canyon and saw that. I wish I would have did this or that, or I wish I would have traveled here. I wish I would have learned this language. I'll never have that. Not. Because if there's something that I want to do or something that I think I should do, I set that goal and I do it. And if there's anything that comes from this video that you guys are watching today, it's stop making excuses. Like, whatever. And this isn't about creating a YouTube channel and doing YouTube. Stop creating excuses. A lot of guys, right, that are in here ask me all the time. They're like, they figure I've only been married not very long, okay? But a lot of these guys say, well, it's because you're married. That's why you're able to have all these ridiculously beautiful or attractive women around you. And no, that's not the case. Or especially if there's somebody like I'm talking to. It's about confidence, fellas. And ladies, this is the same for you. But fellas, it's about confidence. And any of the ladies in the chat today could tell you the same thing because we're going to premiere this, I'm sure. It's about confidence. So, setting goals, doing what you want to do, you got to start doing it. I'm not saying neglect your bills, neglect your responsibilities. That's not what I'm saying. You got to work harder. You got to grind harder. Now, some people say that's getting up and doing it 18 hours. I work a little bit smarter than that. I've learned to be smarter, and I have to work as hard to be able to make the money I need to do what I need to do. But it's also to have those experiences, and this is specifically for you fellas, you got to have that confidence, man. You got to be able to not be afraid to get a no. You know what I'm saying? I get told no all the time, man. I get no. My wife tells me no. But in all seriousness, you got to be able to accept a no. And as long as you can just be like, oh, all right, cool. Every no that you get is one step closer for you finding a yes. And I am literally living proof of that. So I'm telling you, it's all on this up here. It's your mindset too. So, 2021 was a crazy year. I took some L's with my car. I took some L's even in social media. People trying to come for me saying crazy crap and all kinds of whatnot. But those L's ended up turning into W's. So it is what it is. But I just wanted to personally thank all of you guys that are here today watching this premiere. And all of you guys that have been here all through 2021. Or, the end of 2019 when we really started and pushed, getting started on this journey. Again, with the automotive channel. What a lot of people don't know is, Beamer Man was a channel back in 2017 or whatever, 2018, and I did it for a little bit, and I didn't take it seriously. I had other channels, and I was focusing on them. And I don't know, man. I mean, this is obviously a shout out to Randy, but Randy kind of lit a fire under my ass over at Auto Auction Rebuilds about You know, if I enjoy the car thing or if I'm passionate about the car thing, why don't I do that if I do the other YouTube channels? It's just facts. I couldn't deny that. There was no excuse. I don't like making excuses. It just is what it was. It just is what it is. I had to eat that. Okay, that was facts, bro. I got it. So I dove into it head first. I left Oklahoma City for Las Vegas, and I got started. And you know, we were there, and then moved back out here to North Carolina, and I just crushed it all year. And that was literally just grind, hustle, and work in 20. And that was through the pandemic and everything else. And then getting here into 2021, like I said, it was craziness. And the content on the channel has changed. A lot of people say, you know, it's not as, I don't do as many Copart walkarounds as I used to. But I'm going to be honest. The walkarounds don't get as many views as sometimes just me talking to you guys, or us covering the news, or me talking about a new modification on the BMW, or, you know, looking at what kind of car I might want to purchase. You know, the cars that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace with you guys, that you guys watched me flip, like selling the Jaguar at the bar. That was ridiculous this year. Think about that. My car gets destroyed. I'm in the middle of Oklahoma City. I buy this Jaguar from a service manager for $2,000, and it's been sitting in his garage for a couple of years. I go buy a jump pack. It fires right up. I drive it back. By the time I get it back, all of the fault codes and everything have sorted themselves out. I have a cherry clean Jaguar XJ8 Vanden Plas that was ridiculous. All in, $2,000. Fresh tires, new shocks. It was clean. And then to be able to go to the bar halfway through a Guinness and then sell that car at the bar, no BS, the videos are here on the channel, for $5,000. That was a $3,000 profit for like 3 days of driving the car around, basically. I couldn't beat that. You know, and to turn that into that $3,000 profit, you know, we turned that into that BMW 740iL E38 that had one of the most extensive maintenance histories I've ever seen from a BMW. You know, a brand new motor, trans rebuild. Like, that thing was insane. The book on that thing was ridiculous. And, you know, it didn't hurt that it also came from Sean Penn. I mean, we'll get into the GTO and the Prince GTO as well. But, like, just when I think about the things that happened this year and the cars and the stories I got to put my hands on, that's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous, right? It's really crazy. And even though the Green Monster was probably the down point of the year, I gotta say, man, if that's the down point for the year, like, the rest of the year was really good. It was awesome. So, you know, turning that BMW 740 into the Jaguar XJS, that red convertible, which everybody said, you know, that car, it's crap, it's never gonna make the Vegas, and I put a tag on it that day. We drove it to Vegas, straight through, no problems. Talk about shock. And then, this is still up for debate, whether or not the car had 1,000,000 miles on it. I'm going by what the dealer said, okay? Why I know Jaguars and those cars very well, like, I could work on, I understand those cars very well. I'm no expert, and I literally went by what the service department said. And if you still go to their Facebook page, the article, the post that they put there is still on their Facebook page, that the car had 1.1 million miles on it. I didn't say it. Jaguar said it. And then to get that car and get it all the way back to Oklahoma and then get to CarMax and then have the unfortunate incident where the porter drove it with the e-brake on and overheated it and, you know, irreparably damaged the car. It was kind of another sad point. But, you know, we got our check and we got our money out of that. And then we got a supplemental check from CarMax for that car. And when I think about it, you know, the BMW was basically $3,000, which we got out of the Jaguar for free. So the BMW was free. We rolled that thing into the Jaguar, and then it was, what, $7,900, whatever, after everything was said and done, that came out of that car, that was all profit from a couple of car flips and great content. And that's not including the videos, right? And then we go from that to the Dodge Magnum, which you figure, okay, we picked that thing up for what? We had like $7,900 in profit from the Jag. We pick up the Magnum for what, was it 4,100 or 4,000? I know it was very close, right? Is what we ended up having into that car, and to sell it for almost double. Like, I literally almost doubled my money on every single car we picked up this year, except the Pontiac. And I know a lot of you guys are wondering, what are we going to do with the Pontiac Chieftain? I don't know yet. You know, the 71 is gone. I don't have any classic cars in the inventory. And you guys know I like to LS swap some shit. But in all seriousness, I don't know what I'm going to do with the Pontiac. I actually got a very insane offer today for a car that I've never owned. I've never really had an inkling to want one. But I hear anytime you have a car that the doors go up, the panties go down. So I'm interested. Now I know someone's going to try to be like, what kind of car is it? I guarantee you don't. It's from the 80s. You ain't going to be able to guess the car. I can tell you that. I'm not going to give no hints because then I'll give it away. But I will do a video on it. We will check it out. And, you know, being able to see family and stuff at the end of the year and everything that's gone on, it's been a good year, man. And everything that's happened on the channel, you know, all the stuff that we built, all the stuff that we did, you know, the moves that we made, the roasting, whether I was destroying Collision Works online or we've been talking about the news with Carvana or anything else, is literally because you guys have been in my corner. You've been in my comments, you know, pushing me, supporting me. You know, some of you guys have been members and putting money into the channel. That's crazy. Super chats, all of that. That's insane, man. That's insane. So to see all of that from you guys this year, it really just makes me want to go bigger. You know, wants to make me go, you know, harder, get a little bit more serious about it in 2022. And that's why we're going to the West Coast. Not because I'm going to move to LA and get into that. No, I'm not doing that. But the car scene in Las Vegas is not no chump. And I honestly believe that we could have some amazing content coming out of there. Plus, maybe we build our own little enclave in Las Vegas, because I have some friends out there that I'd love to introduce you guys to. We promote his channel, his company here all the time at LosMobileUSA.com. My dude Carlos with his 1,000 horsepower M3. We got my dude Mike. Fireman Mike. We might have to start calling him Magic Mike, because Mike's a big jack diesel dude. And all I can tell you is, ladies, stay tuned. And then just all the different people that I know in Vegas that I know could do this car stuff too. You know, we have Esau World. I don't know if you guys check out his channel, but he just recently moved from Hawaii to Las Vegas. There's just so many different channels that are in that vicinity. We got my dude Destroyer 1320 down in Arizona. If you don't think I'm going to be taking trips down there to go do content with him, you're out of your rabbit ass mind. I am. It's just so much stuff that we're going to be able to reach out and do. And it's still the same distance really for me from Las Vegas to Oklahoma, if I go back and forth to do stuff with Randy once in a while, as it is from me from North Carolina to Oklahoma City. So lots of things I'm hoping for, lots of things I'm looking forward to in 2022. And I guess before we get out of here, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys, because without you guys, and if you're watching this live in the premiere right now, if you guys weren't watching this, this wouldn't be possible. Yeah, I could still be filming myself buying cars because I could afford it and do whatever videos. But would I want to continue to do it if you guys weren't tuning in and watching? Probably not. So, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for making 2021, even in this pandemic, with all this crazy shit, a really solid year. And I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to bringing you guys some amazing content and even meeting some of you guys in person as we travel city to city, state to state, all over these great United States. And maybe as this pandemic lifts, you know, I'm a regular, I can't even talk right now, a regular passport holding beast. Maybe we'll go to some other countries. I have a lot of subscribers in the UK, and I got several in Australia. And those are two places I definitely want to touch down. I would love to go to Australia and hit that Holden scene. I would love to go to the UK and just hang out with so many of you guys that are just cool. And we're going to do that here in the US too. And you guys know how it is. Drinks on me. Anybody will tell you that. Anyways, till next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have an amazing new year with your family, your friends, whoever you're with. Even if you're just dolo, love yourself, damn it. And understand this. Even when you think you got it bad, I know the Walmarts are closed at 3 o'clock in the morning and we can't go watch the person in flesh-colored spandex that's 400 pounds and looks miserable so that we can feel better about ourselves, aka the self-esteem store. I know the self-esteem store is closed, but understand this. There's always somebody that's got it worse than you, period. And as long as you have that mindset, you're going to be all right. Everybody needs to grind this year. There's literally no excuses for it. If I can do what I'm doing here, maybe you're not an automotive YouTuber. Maybe you're a makeup person. Maybe you want to do videos on cleaning watches. Maybe you want to do videos on cleaning sneakers. I don't know. But there's a niche out there for everybody, and you'll be surprised. And there's really no reason why you can't do this. Or whatever it is that you want to do. I hope you apply yourself this year and you grind and you hustle and you crush it. So from me and my family to you and yours, to each and every single one of you guys that are here watching today, have a happy new year. Have a wonderful evening. Have as many wonderful beverages as you want safely. And have a happy new year. And enjoy the people that you're with. Until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll catch y'all next year.
For the longest time. Whoa. For the longest.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet.